It's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting Celestial Warbringers. Yes, it's the other kind of burgundy pinky scheme that you can find in the Stormcast Eternals. And today we're using one of the Liberators sent to me early by Games Workshop as part of the Skaventide box set to do so. So a massive thank you to them for that, and we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting. Now, she has been primed in Grey Seer, and the colour we're going to be using first is Sigvald Burgundy. Now this is going to be thinned down in a roughly 4 parts Sigvald Burgundy to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. The reason we're doing that is just to improve the flow a little bit. Making it a little bit easier to apply it nice and smoothly. Just like this. Now we're going to be applying this over the top of all of the armour, excluding the shoulders and the shield facing. So with that all done, it might seem a little bit early, but what we are going to do is going to shade all of that armour using some Carroburg Crimson. So that Carroburg Crimson all applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion and we're going to apply this over top of all of the leather, all of the kind of soft joints, the inside of the shield and the scabbard. So with all of that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown. And we're going to use this over the top of our Liberator's face, but also over the top of the grips of the weapons. So with that all done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Nuln Oil and we're going to apply this over the top of the shield facing and the shoulders. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour and we're going to apply this over top of, well, basically all of the decorative details, the trim, these faces on the shields. So with that all done, we also applied it over the top of the scale mail, but what we're going to do now is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. And we're going to apply this over the top of the lightning on the shields and on the shoulder. Like that. We're also going to apply this over the top of the hammer and over the top of the earring that our Stormcast has. So with that all done, it's now time to add some shades, and the first of these is going to be some Guilliman Flesh. I'm going to use this to shade all the gold. With all that Guilliman Flesh applied, we're then going to take some Nuln Oil and we're going to use this to shade all the silver. With that all done, our Celestial Warbringer is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. However, we're not going to leave her there. We're going to take it to the next level and do this by adding some highlights and a layer or two. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down pink horror. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the armor. So with all that pink horror applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Fulgrim Pink. And we're going to use this to add a little spot highlight to all the armour. So with that all done, all of the armour is now finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the white. So we're going to take some thinned down Corax White here. I'm going to use this to relayer all of the white. So with all that Corax White applied, we then take some thinned down white scar. I'm going to first remove the little bit of dust and start that again. So with all that Corax White applied, we're then going to take some thinned down white scar. I'm going to use this to highlight all the white. So with that all done, the white details are now finished. So what we're going to do is going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. We're going to use this to highlight the black details. I'm going to start up here with the hair. So with that then done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Knight-Questor Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight the face. With that Knight-Questor Flesh applied, we then want to use a tiny amount of Black Legion. I'm going to use this to colour in the eyeballs. And so with that Black Legion applied, we then want to take a tiny little dot of Screaming Skull, and we're going to apply this in the corners of the eyeballs. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour. I'm going to use this to relayer the gold. Now we only really need to focus on the trim of the shield. However, if you want to, what you can do is you can relayer all the scales as well, or You can go for the slightly brighter scales that I'm going to go for in just a minute. And so with that Retributor Armour reapplied to the shield, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts Stormhost Silver to 1 part Retributor Armour mix. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the gold. And this is what I was talking about with those slightly shinier scales, that instead of highlighting them, what we do is we just relayer them, avoiding the recesses. Like that sort of thing. And so with that done, we're now going to finish her off by taking some Blood Angels Red, and we're going to apply this over the top of the gems. And so with our base now complete, of course, our Celestial Warbringers Liberator is now finished. And whilst this one is quite similar to the Astral Templars, it's just a little bit of a tonal difference between their armors, which just, you know, changing the highlights and the shade actually just gives it that just slightly different kind of vibe to it, which is really nice. Also the white helps, but it's a really cool scheme. I love it. I love it a lot. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.